Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving into a set of geopolitical predictions so huge they could literally redraw the map of the Middle East. We're talking about the collapse of nations, the return of old monarchies, and an entirely new balance of power. And it's all coming from a prominent Egyptian media figure, Tawfiq Okasha.
Okay, let's just jump right in with this quote because it's really at the heart of the whole thing. A map that was drawn in pencil is now being written in permanent ink. Think about that. This isn't just about shifting alliances or minor border disputes. The idea here is that the time for erasing and redrawing is over. The lines are being finalized, and what we're about to see, according to this analysis, is a new, unchangeable reality for the entire region.
So the man behind these predictions, Tawfik Okasha, he doesn't describe this shift as, a minor tremor. He calls it a political earthquake, a massive, cataclysmic event that's going to shatter the old order and build something new from the rubble.
So what exactly is a political earthquake? Well, you can forget about gradual change. We are talking about a sudden, violent upheaval. It's the whole system getting flipped on its head, a domino effect of collapsing governments and a complete rewriting of the rules of power.
And what's at the epicenter of this earthquake? According to this analysis, it all hinges on one single event: the collapse of the current Iranian regime. This is presented as the first and most critical domino that has to fall to set everything else in motion. Now, this is where it gets incredibly specific. The collapse isn't predicted to come from, say, a popular uprising or a full-scale ground invasion. No, it's laid out as a very precise three-step strategic operation. First, targeted strikes, then a total collapse of state control, and finally, a descent into widespread chaos. And the crucial point here is that this is all about a strategic decapitation. It's like taking out the brain of the operation. By targeting key leaders and paramilitary forces like the Basij, who are fiercely loyal to the regime, the state's entire grip on power would just crumble. It's a surgical strike designed to cripple the system from the inside out.
And the predicted outcome of all this? It's just as stunning. The analysis doesn't just call for the regime to fall, it points to a specific replacement. We're talking about a dramatic reversal of history here. It suggests that preparations are already underway for the return of the monarchy, possibly with the son of the last Shah. I mean, talk about a seismic shift in the region's political landscape.
Okay, so if Iran falls, that's just the start, right? An event that big doesn't happen in a vacuum. Its collapse is predicted to send these powerful shockwaves across the entire region, and that means major consequences for its neighbors.
So who's in the immediate blast radius? This analysis points straight to two countries, Turkey and Iran. Now, both of them share a border with Iran, and both have these really complex relationships with the current regime. According to this prediction, they're both bracing for impact, but they're facing very different challenges and opportunities.
For Turkey, this isn't just about managing a crisis on its border. The source claims there's a much deeper fear at play, a concern that after Iran, Turkey itself could be the next country targeted for a fundamental political overhaul. So for them, it's about self-preservation, sure, but it's also about positioning themselves for whatever new regional order comes next.
And then you've got Iraq. It's described as the main stage, the absolute ground zero for the power struggle that's supposed to follow. The prediction is that with the Iranian regime gone, the United States will move decisively to cut off all of Iran's remaining influence there. We're talking dismantling militias, cutting off funding, the whole shebang. Iraq would become the primary battleground for the future of the region.
So with all this predicted chaos, who holds the line? Who keeps the whole region from completely falling apart? Well, Okasha's analysis points to a specific group of nations that he believes can act as a stabilizing force. And that brings us to what he calls the Arab Solid Core.
He doesn't just point to one country, but a group of 5 nations that he says form this solid core. And according to him, these 5 are the absolute key to weathering the coming storm. And this alliance is described as this perfect fusion of power. On one hand, you've got Egypt's demographic weight, its huge population and powerful military. And then you combine that with the immense financial muscle of 4 Gulf states: Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Kuwait, and Bahrain. It's a real marriage of strength and wealth.
The whole point of this club isn't to go out and conquer. It's to build a firewall. Its main job is to act as a unified bloc to contain the fallout. But, and this is a big but, its unity is considered absolutely essential. The analysis warns that if this core fractures, the rest of the Arab world would be completely vulnerable to the chaos.
All right, let's zoom out for a second and just really grasp the historical scale of what's being predicted here. This isn't just another conflict or a change in government. This is being framed as a once-in-a-generation transformation, on par with the biggest events in modern Middle Eastern history.
To put it into perspective, the source directly compares this predicted event to the 1979 Iranian Revolution, another earthquake that completely changed the region for the next 50 years. And it suggests that a new, stable order might not even emerge from the chaos until 2030 at the earliest. We could be looking at a decade of pure turmoil and transformation.
So, the key takeaway here isn't just the prediction itself. It's the assertion that the major players in the region are already moving their chess pieces as if this future is a done deal. They're securing borders and making moves not for something that might happen, but for something they see as inevitable. Whether they're right or wrong, their actions are shaping what's to come.
And that leaves us with one last big question. Are we really standing on the edge of a new Middle East, one that will be forged in chaos and conflict? Or is this just one of many possible futures for a region that has, let's be honest, always defied easy predictions? Only time will tell.